Not sure where this fell off, but it fell off on the drive, which is lucky. I thought it was this one though, because when they done the exhaust, I don't know if you can see it, but if I zoom in, see that one? It's like falling off. So I thought it was that one, but it's not. So I don't know where the other one is. We'll have to have a little look to see where this bloody one goes. There is this bit here, but it doesn't stay in. But there is one over there, so I'm not sure why it's not staying in. That's why. If you can see, there's like a little like can't really see from here, but there's a little like bracket that it goes onto. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it goes onto that bit there. So I'm just not sure why it's not going on the other side. I don't think it's even got that bit on the other side. I don't know. Anyway, I just looked. Can't really tell from here, but there you go. It looks broken. The fins come off, so it doesn't go in. Look, see, it's still all like bent up. It's meant to go into like that bit over there. So, oh well. I swear it gets louder and louder every time I drive this car. Little pop. That's just what I'm just driving now when it does anything. Definitely improving with the loudness. But is that raspy, trumpety sound? Is that going? Hopefully you heard that. Proper like crackling, like a Jaguar F type. You should really let it like warm up or going a little bit crazy. It's not good for it. We'll let it warm up a little as it's cold start. I noticed on from cold start when it's heating up, the gear shifts are really slow. So when you're downshifting, they're usually really quick. But when you downshift now it does it. It's usually like instant with the downshifts anyway. But it's got to let it like heat up. I'm not sure why, but I think it is improving, which is good. But enough of the exhaust, because we're not on about the exhaust today. There's loads of burbles as well. Oh, that does sound good. Anyway, away from the exhaust. So today we're just talking about turbocharge or supercharge. Not necessarily on this car, but just any car in general. If you're like got a car that's naturally aspirated, that's basically what I'm talking about, is naturally aspirated cars. Would you turbocharge it or supercharge it? Like, what's the pros, what's the cons of each one? So I don't know loads and loads about supercharging and turbocharging because I've never particularly done it. But I've read up a lot about it, especially on this car. I never know whether to turbocharge a car or supercharge a car. Back in the day, when I was like 18, I would love to always have a turbocharge because it was literally, it's the sound, the dump valve sound. Sometimes you can make it go like a Nissan GTR, like the old ones. And that was usually because they took the airbox out completely, which made it do that little like, and yeah, it just sounded it sounded nice, but apparently it was because they just basically fucked it up and took the air intake out. Oh, that's nice in front of me. It's like a trike. You can hear it. Is it louder than mine? I don't know, he's not really revving it or ragging it. Sounds good though. There you go. Sounds nice. Still hear mine though. He's looking, trying to see what's behind him. Oh, it does sound deep though, throaty. See, if I could make mine sound like that, that'd be nice, but then it wouldn't be a Maserati. It does sound good. He keeps on looking in the mirror like, motorbikes always do that, don't they? Like if you see a person on a motorbike, they've always like constantly like have a habit of like looking like all the time because they don't know what's behind them. and they're probably worried that the car's going to go too close and hit them off. But yeah, I went into like proper for it. It's not. Oh, anyway, supercharging and turbocharge. So yes, turbocharge. Close the window for a minute. Oh, it's going for it now. It's not going to hit me otherwise. So turbocharge is cool. It sounds good. Dump valve sounds are nice. It gives you that instant power. Very aggressive shifts. And like I said, it's like the low end torque, isn't it? You get loads of torque low end. Like my BMW, I think like the highest horsepower peak was about 1850 or 1750 RPM, so it's very like quick. That's why turbochargers are good. But the only thing I don't like about turbocharged cars is that a lot of times you get lag. So you put your foot down, and it takes time for it to like spool up, and then it's like, and then it goes. And once it goes, which is good. But it's just, yeah, it's just, I'm not a fan of turbocharged cars. I have had one in the past. It was twin powered, which is better than a single turbo. It still was a bit laggy. I know twin turbos are meant to be better. Depends what one you go for. So Nissan GTR is obviously like very well known for not having turbo lag. But I'm on about naturally aspirated cars and then turbocharging them, so that can make it lag. Depends how much money you spend on the turbocharger and if it's single and twin. The other issue is that basically you've got to be careful with turbocharging a car because one, there's a lot of stuff that you've got to do to it anyway. So let's talk about like the Maserati for instance. So if I wanted to turbocharge this, there's a lot of money and a lot of stuff that goes into it. So you basically, obviously you've got to do like your basics. You've got to put in your air filter, like an aftermarket air filter. You've got to then do like your stage 1 remap and then stage 2 remap as well. You've got to work your way up. I mean, you can't do it all in one hit, but it's pretty best to work your way up. So yeah, so you need to like upgrade the air intake, and then you've got to like upgrade your clutch, probably like your transmission, like get a gearbox tune so it can withstand it, but definitely the clutch. Oh, the guy's behind me now. I don't know, how did he get behind me? He was in front of me earlier, now he's behind me for some reason. I don't know if he wants to be behind me to hear what it sounds like, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so yes, so you've got to do a lot of stuff to it. And then you've got to do like your tuning, and then you've got to get a full exhaust system as well. And when I'm in full, I'm in full. You've got to do like, you know, like the back box, the centre. I think with turbo cars you can do small cats. I don't think you have to do D-cats. It's probably best to do D-cats though. It's basically like a downpipe to it. So basically it's called like a turbo back. So it's not necessarily going onto your cats, it's like it's going onto the turbo. So with the turbos you also have like the manifolds. So then it goes onto it, and then that's like your turbo kit done. So it's a full exhaust system, and it's bloody expensive. And then you've got to like upgrade other little bits, like obviously you've got to do your brake. You got better brake pads, better brake discs, probably like ceramic if your car's not ceramic like this one isn't. Yeah, it's just a lot of money you've got to do to make sure that you're not going to like fuck up your car really, that it doesn't fall apart. That's the main thing. The car there's doing a few good pops and bangs. So yes, and then you've got to also do your oil lines. You've got to upgrade them. You've got to I think like your coolant line as well, which I wasn't too sure on, but apparently you've got to do that. I know the oil line you've got to do, like the oil feed bit. So yes, and then you've got to also obviously put in an intercooler. You've got to basically like add on an intercooler onto this, like a conversion. And obviously you can tell it's still windy at the moment. Very windy in the past few days. So with the intercooler, it just basically makes you have more cold air going in. So obviously, usually if you've got an intercooler on a turbocharged car, it's like stock, you've got to like upgrade it like to a bigger one. But obviously this one hasn't got it anyway, so you just have to put on an aftermarket one. Which allegedly, if you tune it right, it can make up to like 30% more horsepower of what your car's doing. Allegedly, I'm not sure if that's true. It must be true because there's people out there that have like 2,000 horsepower cars or whatever. So once you've got that in, you also need it to be tuned as well. Get all your warning lights off, like your engine lights, especially with like D-cats or whatever. and your manifolds, like long tube headers and everything. And yes, and obviously because you've got turbo, you need to have it like tuned properly, so it's going to be a stage 3 tune, right? And then you've got a dyno it, and then that's how you do it. But yes, it adds on a lot more horsepower than a supercharger, but you can have more problems. So the reliability is a lot worse than what it is on a supercharger. So you hear like people like making their cars ridiculously more power than what their car can handle, and it's usually because the engine cannot take it, basically. There's only a certain point it can go up to, and then it's going to like have problems, and then it's like having reliability issues, oil leaks, gasket blown, and this, that and the other. And my friend has got an MR2, like the old ones, and he's like turbocharged his car, but he's always, every like weekend or every other day, he drives it, and then he's got some problem with it, and he's got to fix it, because it just makes it unreliable. So that's the downside to it. Supercharger, there's a lot less work involved. Oh, quickly, just before I get on to supercharging, you've also got to like upgrade the like your coil pack and like the ignition coils, like better spark plugs, definitely better spark plugs. But the yeah, like your coil pack, basically, you've got to upgrade that. It just gives it a better spark. You've got to like upgrade like the fuel filter, and you need to like also make your tank bigger as well, so it can get more fuel into it. So there's that. But supercharging is less work to do, less money to spend on it. It's more reliable, and it does make it. I was going to say it makes a nice sound, but it doesn't. It sounds really weird. If you go like floor it doesn't sound right. Yes, you're getting more throttle response. Turbocharged is less throttle response than a naturally aspirated engine. That's why I like it. But supercharging is better for throttle response. There's no like lag, but it doesn't sound as good, and you don't get nowhere near as much power. But they are more reliable, and it's the closest thing to a naturally aspirated engine without being a naturally aspirated engine, if that makes sense. Like while adding something onto it. So my opinion on it is, if I was ever going to do it to a car, I would do a supercharger. That's if I was going to do it. But I love the naturally aspirated engine so much that I don't really want to do it. I mean, I'm all for more power, but I just don't like the feel of having a supercharger or a turbocharger. I would rather it be naturally aspirated, because they sound nicer, as in like the exhaust sounds nicer. I mean, yes, you get that nice like like on idle with a turbocharged car, but what I mean is by sound, the naturally aspirated engines just sound nicer. And to mess with a Ferrari or a Maserati that sounds like a Ferrari, I don't want to do it. I want to try and keep that tone. That's why I'm trying to also sort out the exhaust to try and get the tone back. It sounds nice and loud and pops and bangs and everything, but it's lost a little bit of that Italian exotic sound. So I'm trying to get that back, but that'll be coming in a later video in November. So my advice is, if you want to turbocharge or supercharge a car and you must get more horsepower, I would suggest doing supercharging. If you've got a Maserati or like a Ferrari or a V8 naturally aspirated engine that's got that Italian awesome sound, my suggestion would be don't do anything, just leave it. My opinion is that I'm not going to do it. Onto this car, I was thinking about doing a supercharger, but it's a lot of money. Only one person does it, and they're in bloody Germany. I don't think they make it anymore anyway, because they're not selling well, which I'll explain why they're not selling well. It's because the money. They were like 35,000 euros. And it's ridiculous. Like, why would you pay that just to add on like an extra 100 and something horsepower? It's just absolutely ridiculous. I know that they add in other stuff as well. I don't think it's just a supercharger. I think they add in like the exhaust now. I'm not actually 100% sure. But I read that it was just for the supercharger, which is ridiculous. 35,000? That's crazy. If I had 35,000 enough to spend on a supercharger on this car, I would literally have it as a down payment on a fucking Ferrari F430. That's what I would do. Which is like one of my top end dream cars. That's what I would do. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this little video explaining what is a supercharger, what is a turbocharger, the pros and cons to each, and should you do it on the naturally aspirated engine, and should you do it on the Maserati GranTurismo? Well, it's entirely up to you, but if I was you, I'd save your money, get a Ferrari instead, or just keep it the way that it is now and save yourself a lot of fucking money. Enjoy! Oh, that's nice. Well, stay tuned for the next video. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the hops and bangs that this is making at the moment. But you wait until I do the tune day, where I'm actually getting the pop and bang map. I'm just going to make it sound